Hey, I'm John the Top from Stormforce Fitness, and this is just a quick introduction to a couple of the seminars that are going to be part of the Guernsey Fitness Festival. There's loads of seminars and workshops going on, different events, like 5k races, 10k Coastal Chaos race, we've got boxercise masterclass, fitness camp trials, but there's also some sit-down seminars, because we've realised as part of the coaching we do that it's not all about just training and nutrition. You can't just do more exercise and eat less food and you're suddenly going to have an amazing body. It doesn't work like that for hormonal reasons, stress reasons. There's so much more going on inside of you that makes a massive, massive difference. And the other thing is that a lot of people say to you, you just need more positive thinking. Think positive and you can do an exercise program, you can run a marathon or whatever. On the face of it, that sounds like fairly good standard advice. The problem is that positive thinking occurs in this human part of the brain. But there's actually kind of three parts to the brain that's inside your skull right now. There's a reptile brain, there's the mammal brain, and there's a human brain. Like parts to the brain. Now the reptile brain, that's the one that's been there for millions and millions of years, until we started evolving. This is the part of the brain which largely is very reactive and it's about survival. It's literally, how do I stay alive in this moment? Whatever kind of threat you're under, how do I survive? We then evolved a little bit and became more mammal-like, and this part of the brain revolves around social connection. So essentially I want to be part of something, I want to be part of a tribe. I want to be part of a pack. And then we get to the third part, almost the later stage of evolution, the human part of the brain. And this is supposedly the smart part of the brain where we can actually make logical decisions. It's what gives me the ability to stand here and speak to you and you can understand what I'm saying and maybe write stuff down. That's the human part of the brain. And like I said, this is where you want to live. That's the logical side, so you can actually look and say, yes, this is the right decision for me as an individual to become effectively a better person. It'll make me stronger, it'll make me healthier, it'll make me more intelligent, it will, the stage we've got to, it'll make me more money, it will improve my family life, whatever it might be. This is where we need to live really for a great, successful life. Now the problem is that when we're under a lot of stress, we perceive a lot of mental threats. And the fact is that stress isn't really real. Stress is just our reaction to a particular moment, a particular occasion or event. But when we face that stress and we're facing a threat, we find it very difficult to use particularly the human part of the brain. Even the mammal part of the brain, to be honest. And we become, if the stress is bad enough, then we live in this part of the brain. It's literally, how do I survive? I just want to get through this. And that's where we become very reactive. We kind of forget any logical thinking about what might happen in the future and really what is the best decision, how can I weigh up the options. It's like, I've just got to deal with this now. And the reptile part of the brain essentially evolves around 5 Fs. And some of them you'll have heard before: fight, flight, freeze, food, and the 5th F, a little bit rude, I'm sure you can work out what it is. Think of the 4-letter word for kind of frolicking in a sexual way. Okay, so fight, flight, freeze, food, and the 5th F. I'm not going to swear on camera, so I'm sure you can figure that one out. And basically what happens is when we're under any kind of threat, we slip into one of those 5 reactions. So maybe it's fighting, so we get angry, we start arguing with people. Maybe it's flight, so we run away. And that can be running away from people, running away from situations, running away from your fitness program, so you gradually start pulling back and you stop going to the gym. Food, I'm sure you yourself and many people you know have that food reaction. When you get stressed, you want sugars, you want chocolate, you want alcohol. That's the 4th F. It's where you kind of find yourself with your head stuck in the fridge. You're like, how did I even get here? The 5th F is the one related to seeking sexual satisfaction, and obviously at an extreme level, that's where we can end up with societal problems like rape and sexual abuse and everything else. It's because the person doing that is under stress, under mental threats themselves, and they've basically gone into reptile mode. And unfortunately, this is where most people tend to live. They're constantly reacting. There's so much stress, they don't have time to think about what it is they really want out of life, what is really the logical decision to make here, and then we take logical steps over and over again to get to where we want to go. And that's really all fitness is. But until we can get out of this zone, we struggle to ever get to the other 2 zones. Now let's assume we've we're able to kind of conquer that. We're not under huge amount of stress, but we're still kind of in this middle zone. We're living in the mammal brain, and that's where really everything you do will be determined by how it affects your social connections and your relationships. So even here, it's not the best place to be, because you'll still be kind of reacting and just doing whatever you need to do to fit in with other people. And we see that, we kind of call it peer pressure. It's like, you kind of shouldn't be doing something either because it's illegal or just not good for you, whatever, but you do it anyway because your friends are doing it. You want to fit in. So this will be like where I know I should be sticking to my diet, but subconsciously, I've got to go to the pub, I need to hang out with my friends. So you have 2 or 3 pints, and it's because you're facing a threat and almost feeling like if you don't, you're not going to have the social connections you want. So we also need to look at how we can overcome the threats that are going to keep you stuck here. And this is where, when we're talking about fitness, why things like fitness camps and running groups and things like that work really well, because you feel part of something, you feel part of a pack or a tribe, so you're kind of satisfying that part of the brain. So now, hopefully, if we can overcome stress, we're going to get past here. If we can overcome issues with social connection and the need to put certain relationships ahead of perhaps what's good for you, then we can overcome this bit. And then that's how we're going to get into this human part of the brain, when you can make logical decisions and essentially abide by them. Now, you don't need me to tell you an apple is better than a chocolate bar, or that alcohol is not going to be good for your body fat levels. You don't need me to tell you that you should be doing more exercise or drinking more water or eating more vegetables. You know that stuff. You're smart enough as a human being to know that stuff. But the problem is being able to live in that area of the brain. What you're actually doing is, yes, you've got that information kind of stored in here, but you're living in one of these parts of the brain. You're either just in fight, flight, freeze, food, or sexual frolicking mode, or you're in mammal mode, and really you're just trying to keep other people happy. Okay, so one of the things we're going to talk about in both the First Step seminar and the Brain to Body Fat seminar is how we can start overcoming these. Because, overcoming these 2 parts that are living in these 2 parts of the brain. Because if we don't do that, then you can try and think positively all you like. You can download every exercise program you like. You can read every blog and magazine and watch videos and buy these DVDs and listen to the person in the office who thinks they know everything about diets and everything else, but the fact of the matter is you will not be able to live in that part of the brain until we can start dealing with stress and helping you overcome the threats that you face as an individual. And that's going to be different for everybody. I've had my own childhood and experiences and bullying and stuff like that. You'll have had your own experiences with relationships and school and PE lessons and all the sort of things that can affect how you perceive what's going to happen when you get into a nutrition plan or an exercise plan. So I really hope you found that interesting. I hope that makes sense to you. Maybe you're already starting to see what might be going on in your own brain and why it's stopping you taking the actions that deep down you want to take, but it's just like you've constantly got someone pulling, as you move forward, someone's pulling you back and you end up back where you started all the time. So I hope you can get along to the fitness festival. Just go to www.guernseyfitnessfestival.com. You'll find all the dates and events and online booking and everything on there. You can register for as many events as you like. All the profits from each event are going to charity. So there's an event attached to, a charity attached to each event. So all the profit is going to go to that charity. So I hope you can be there. You're going to learn loads and loads. We're going to help you move forward with your health and fitness, whatever it is you want to achieve. And the best bit is we're going to raise loads of money as well. So get to guernseyfitnessfestival.com and then I will see you at the seminar.